Okay, fantastic. We are recording. Yay! All right, thank you. Janine is going to be hosting the training this evening. I'm just going to go through a few quick announcements for everyone. So hopefully we got a little preview of the VIA Core today. Super, super exciting. So make sure that you get on to the launch event, which is 7 a.m. Brisbane time and 8 a.m. in the daylight saving states, which are New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, and if you're in another state, work out the time that you have. So 7 a.m. Brisbane time. So just like use a time converter to work it out if you're somewhere outside of those places. It's really exciting. Very impressed with the product, and it's whole food based and it's organic. So really, really exciting. They're going to be announcing all of the details around that on Saturday, and Anne-Louise Gittleman is going to be speaking at that event as well. So really encourage you to get along and learn all about it there. We also have other events coming up. I believe you've got one in Melbourne on Thursday night, right, Janine? There's one in Perth on Thursday.
Yes. Yep.
One in Perth on Thursday night, Hobart Friday night, Hobart Saturday, and then next Saturday, the 24th of March, there are concurrent events in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. Now, most of those events, and there's one in Adelaide on the 25th. Most of the events are on asiaevents.eventbrite. I'm just typing the address in there. That's the address where most of the events are. The Melbourne one is not on there, and the Adelaide one is not on there, but the Adelaide one, the flyer is in Shine Bright Team in the files section, and you also would have received an email newsletter hopefully today from us that would have the details of that in there as well. Now the newsletter said that the ASEA VIA Core launch was in February, but obviously it was in March. 2 proofreaders did not pick that up, so sorry about that. So always a challenge sometimes to get these things perfect. But that's pretty much all of the announcements from me, unless anyone has anything or anything I've forgotten.
I just want to say I enrolled someone in Netherlands just now.
Fantastic. Miriam's doing her global expansion. Is that your first international Europe one, Miriam?
Yes.
Exciting. Super exciting.
And I love her.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's it from me. If anyone has anything else. Oh, and congratulations to all of the top 10 enrollers in the last 39 days. That is just absolutely phenomenal. So we had Anthea, I'm not sure if she's on the call, topping the list. We heard from Anthea last week, which was phenomenal. And I think we had Miriam in at number 2, Sharon in at number 3. I don't know if Sharon is on the call. But yeah, it was fantastic to see many. So there was 2 Sharons on the list actually. Edwina Kent from Toowoomba. Robin, you were on the list. Well done. And Stuart Robertson. Yeah, and there were some more people on the list, and their names have escaped me right now. That's terrible, but well done to everyone in being the top 10 in the last 39 days. And I also posted the top 10 contactors. So you can find out that information in your Genie. If you log into Genie and you go to team and you go to, there's a watch list tab, it'll tell you your top 10 enrollers in the last 10 days and the top 10 people who've been contacting, making the most number of contacts. And you can reach out to those people and help them. So the top 10 enrollers, help them to, just support them. They're obviously already doing great things. Top 10 contactors, maybe where it's not converting into enrollments, reach out for them and see where the breakdown is and where they need help. Okay, so that's it from me.
Over to you. I've got one question for you. So you said that Adelaide and Melbourne events aren't on the ASEA events at Eventbrite. Where's the Melbourne flyer?
That's the one that you and Sharon are doing, is not on the
Oh, you're talking about Thursday night, not the 24th.
Yes.
That's okay. Good.
That one's in Shine Bright Team and the Adelaide one is in Shine Bright Team. They're just smaller events. They're not open diamond events. So all of the, actually, and there's one in Toowoomba on Monday night as well. That's an open.
Well,
because if people are doing a smaller venue, we can't make them open, obviously, because we get overwhelmed with people.
Exactly. So we have put the Thursday night one up in the Shine Bright Events Facebook group.
Yeah, so that's in there if people want to find it. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thanks, everyone. Over to the amazing Janine.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much. So I've just muted you all. It just works better to not have that interference. So if you're needing to move around while you listen to the training, or if you're eating or something like that, it's always good to turn off your video, because this gets very distracting for people when there's a lot of movement in your window. But if you're just sitting there nice and quiet, yeah, by all means leave your video on. So I'm not sure why I've got that Justin and Nicole picture there. That's a little bit of a concern. There we go.
That's me.
Know. Why is that sitting there?
Because I turned my video off.
Yeah, but then you're sitting in the main part of the screen.
Oh, really? I don't know. Hang on. I'll leave and come back somehow else.
Okay. You have to leave your own show.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so what I'm going to talk to you tonight is about the power of declaration. And, you know, I had some experience last year and this year in the growth of my business. And, you know, I truly believe that it was, a lot of it was, yes, it was about consistent business building behaviour. And for those of you who haven't done the training with Clay Stevens, I would highly recommend it. I went through a 3-month program with him last year that actually finished in January, but we did the bulk of our training in October, November, December. And in those trainings at the beginning, so for those of you who are starting with Clay this week, how many of you are on the call? Not that I can see you. I'm just going to put the gallery on. How many of you starting with Clay this week? Just put your hand up. Oh, awesome. There's a few of you. Wow, this is going to be fantastic, because you will get an opportunity to make a declaration about what you want to achieve in your business as a result of doing the training with Clay. So that's how it all started with me. And I remember when I made that declaration and I did the sums, because then I did some calculations to see, well, how many people would need to come into my business in the next 3 months in order for me to achieve that. And I've got to tell you, I was terrified at my declaration. So the beautiful thing about a declaration, it does need to be quite frightening. Like if you're not scared by it, then the declaration isn't big enough and you already know how to get that. So the declaration is really something you're not quite sure, you're not even sure how you're going to do it. That's the kind of declaration that you want to be setting this week when you start your work with Clay. All right, make the declaration. Ideally, if you can do some numbers before you make the declaration, that's good, because he'll ask you, well, what do you need to do in order to do that? So you want to kind of be clear on that as well, and you need to be scared. So I'm just going to, I've just put together a quick little PowerPoint. I'm just going to share that with you. Now I need to know if you can see this, because sometimes my share screen doesn't work. So Corrine, I can see you. So can you see the power of declaration? Oh, that's great. Thrilled. Thank you. So if for any reason it disappears, please somebody unmute and let me know. So we're going to go through just a little presentation on the power of declaration, because declaration, it lives in the spoken word. And, you know, and it is a very powerful thing to do. So there are many areas in our lives that we can use declaration. It's just tonight we'll be looking at it in the context of building your business, but there's many declarations you can be running at the same time. So declaration, if we look at the meaning of it in the dictionary, it describes it as an explicit announcement of the beginning or of a state or condition. It's a proclamation. All right. So, you know, a declaration that we're all familiar with is the Declaration of Marriage. All right. That's a declaration. It's a public, you're declaring publicly your love and commitment to each other. All right. So we're all familiar with that. And we'll also touch on why sometimes those declarations end up going a little bit sour. So imagine if you could shatter the boundaries that society puts up around us, or even more importantly, if you could tear down those self-sabotaging boundaries we erect ourselves, right? So we have limiting thoughts going on all the time. And if you don't think you do, you're probably just not listening enough to the voice in your head. So often people don't even recognize they've got a voice in their head. They just think that that's thinking. Well, it's not thinking. It's just a dialogue that goes on day in and day out. And if you actually start to notice it, you'll also notice that most of what it says is rubbish. And it's very repetitive. It repeats over and over again every day about why you can't do something, why you shouldn't do something, why you're not good enough. And that's pretty well most of the dialogue that goes on in our head. So a declaration is a way of basically interrupting that, if you like, and it's putting the word out there that and brings in sort of external forces to us that all of us would like to achieve things with some ease. It doesn't have to be hard, and declaring what it is you want is definitely gives you an access to creating something way beyond what you know is possible for you to do right where you are right now, okay? Because we all have, we've all got our limitations about where we are right now. So it's about going beyond that exponentially. So declaration precedes leaps. So yeah, it's an exponential leap, not just going to the next level. It's about going beyond, and the leap is something that you're really not sure how to do right now. That's the kind of leap that I'm talking about. So when I look back over this past year, every time I've successfully moved another piece of my jigsaw puzzle into place, it's always come on the heels of a personal declaration. And, I just so happened that I did declared that when I was working with Clay. So the first declaration was scary, and I achieved that in December. And then Clay said to me, well, okay, so your next goal, for the want of a better word, is to go diamond by convention. And I just said, no, I don't think that's going to, no. Anyway, I sat there as he went on with the session that we were having, and I thought, you know what? Why not? Why not make that declaration? Because there are 6 or 7 other people on this call, and there's a lot of power in declaring something where it's the spoken word that you hear it in your own ears, but also that there are other people there who are a witness to that declaration. So before we finished that session, I said, you know what, Clay, I'm going to declare that I'm going to go diamond by convention. So, I had a few weeks, not all that much, and I had no clue how I was going to do that. So it was a big jump. And, as kind of Christmas came and went, it got a little bit sort of, maybe no, maybe it's not going to happen. But anyway, I was aware that I'd made that declaration, and I got home from convention on the Monday night, and it was late and I was tired, but I hadn't been in my back office for 3 days. So I wanted to get in there and have a look, and I'm just staring at the numbers, and it's like, I'm going to go diamond. And next minute I got a text from David, and he was also looking in my back office, and he goes, Janine, I think you're going to go diamond, because he's like me, like, is this real, these figures? So within the next 3 days, I did actually go diamond. And look, that was like 5 days after convention. So, I think that's really the power of the declaration. So, yeah, so if declarations are so life-altering, why haven't more of us take advantage of this power? Well, I suppose one thing could be that people probably don't appreciate the power of declaration, but where we often fall short is by limiting the scope of our declaration. So again, as I said before, like, you want to declare something that you have no clue how you're going to achieve it, right? So it's got to be big, it's got to make you nervous. And it's like, God, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I've declared it. So how many times of your life have you set yourself a goal, but you've aimed too low? So if you already know how to do it, that's not what you want to be declaring. It's got to be something that you don't know how you're going to achieve it. Now, there's a research project out there that was conducted by Tommy McKay, and he came up with this project, and his research was done on raising children's achievement levels by doing nothing different from what they were already doing, except he had them declare what they will do. Declare that they will actually do it. So he was having them declare things that, they didn't quite know how they were going to do it, but they actually identified things that they didn't know how to do it, and then they declared that they were going to do it. So interesting. What do you think happened? Well, their achievement levels were measured before and after the program. The achievement of the children who made the declarations went up significantly compared to those who did not. Now, not only that, but their attitudes became positive. So they increased their level of positivity. And since then, the work on declaration has been developed considerably. It's shown up to have transforming power when used both by children and with adults. So it's not just for education achievement, but for life in general. So there are so many areas that we could use the power of declaration. Like you might have a physical or health declaration. Like for me this year, I definitely have declared publicly that I have certain goals to do with my health and physical being, and I've put it out there. I've made that declaration. And, you can make the declarations every day. Like I strengthened it today by declaring with a friend that I caught up with today what my health goals are for this year. You could have a relationship or a family declaration, something you want to work on in building, like especially if you're working, and sometimes we're aware that our relationships are a little bit neglected. And so you could declare what you're taking on this year. And in the life of the busyness doesn't go away, but you can actually have declarations keeping things present for you. You can have a career declaration, and of course you could have a Nicaea declaration. So some of you will definitely be declaring some things this week, probably Thursday. So you have to speak your dream out loud. So our words hold a power, and by giving our voice to them, we can initiate changes in our life. And, I just declared it once about going diamond. That was a one-off, but I would suggest that you make those declarations more than once and give them as much power as you can. And your Nicaea business is like a marriage. So after your declaration, there's consistent work or activities that are required for the magic to happen. Like you can't just make a public declaration and then not be, doing the work that that has a marriage be the kind of marriage that you want it to be, or has your business to be growing and be the business that you want it to be. Now, I'm going to declare to you right now, it's not hard work. It's just consistent behavior, business building activities. And if you're not sure about what business building activities are, then, speak to your upline or whoever you're working with as a mentor, because I can promise you there's lots of activities that we do in a day that we're kidding ourselves are business building activities. They seem important, but they're probably just a form of procrastination. So if you're not clear on what business building activities are, they're really simple things that you just repeat over and over again. And if you find that you are resisting any of those business building activities, then, get some coaching and find out what's getting in the way and preventing you from doing those simple things. Those days when the phone gets really heavy and you don't want to pick it up? Well, that's because there's some fear in the way. So, you know, that's a great opportunity to get some mentoring and make a declaration about, you know, picking up the phone and making those calls. So that brings us to the end of what I wanted to say tonight. But I'm just wondering, is there anybody out there that has a declaration that they want to share, or that you have used the power of declaration and achieved something in your life that was really important to you? Or you might never have used the power of declaration and it's something that you want to take on and use. And you don't have to put a big, bold declaration out there right now, but if you want to, I really invite you to do that. But yeah, you do need to be bold, needs to be, you know, some courage in there as well, lots of courage. And yeah, just sharing about who's declared before, who hasn't, who'd like to. Go for it. Jules, love you to share, darling.
Hi, Janine. Thanks for that. Hi, everybody. Well, I just wanted, I declared before I went bronze and before I went silver, the dates that I wanted to do that. I also put on my daily password on my computer. So every day I was putting in bronze, February 2000 and something. And then when I hit bronze, again, I didn't know how I was going to do it. Didn't think about that. I just declared it and put it out there. And the same with silver. And then I went to gold. So it's just actually putting it out there. I agree. And just doing that daily password, because, you know, every day I logged onto my computer at work and every day I used that password, and it was just in my mind every day. So that was just a really good for me to keep that in the forefront of my day, because that's, you know, I logged on quite a few times a day onto my computer. So that was my...
Yeah, so that's great to share that, Jules, because you kept your declaration in existence,
yeah.
You know, with your password. And I was away with Jules. I think at the time you might have been a Director 300. It was early days for you. And, you know, Jules works full time, so it was pretty bold to put out there that she was going to go bronze by this particular date. And she declared it. We were away. We had Justin and Nicole with us and a couple of other associates. And, yeah, you made that declaration and it came in on time. Now, does it matter if it's a week late? No, you know, it doesn't matter. But for Jules, she said February and it was February. So yeah, the power of declaration, like who wants to do things with ease? I mean, this is a great way to scare yourself a bit, say the spoken word. The world will not end if, you know, you fall short of it. You know, it's the old story, reach for the moon, and if you land amongst the stars, you're in a good place.
So I'll just make I'll just let you know, another declaration was I declared that I was resigning from my full-time job, and I declared a D-Day of 25th of March, and I actually did it last week. So, you know,
really?
Yeah.
She beat her goal. She beat her declaration.
That was a bold one, but
yeah,
that's what I did. I declared it and I kept it in existence, because if I didn't, it would have just, all these excuses would have just kept coming up in my head. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Another one.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so Jules understands the power of declaration. You know, it is real. And and you can declare little things every day. Like you could make a declaration that today I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water. Like if you notice that your water consumption is slipping or something else is slipping, because there's only 2 directions in life, forwards and backwards. And you can, you know, you can make declarations. Jules, what's the name of that book that you introduced me to, where it's those simple behaviours that it's called now?
Slide Edge.
The Slide Edge. Exactly. Thank you, David. So, you know, the Slide Edge talks about these are the simple, easy, consistent behaviours that will have you win, but they're so simple and so easy that you could easily not do them. So the power of declaration is declaring simple things. You can do it every day. Have you got anything you want to add in there, David?
Yeah, only that you do need to do it, and the DMO is a big part of that, to keep yourself on topic.
Yeah.
It's so easy not to do it.
Yeah. So you can make a declaration that you're going to even write your DMO and that you're going to read your DMO every day. Yeah. We got lots of chats.
I'm going to be working on teaching the DMO in a few weeks' time, but if you'd like, Janine, I can share my declaration that I made back in 2012.
Would love you
my
to.
story of a declaration.
Yeah.
And that was, I was going through a pretty rough time. I had to close my health food shop and declare voluntary bankruptcy in early 2012. 3rd of January, I shut my doors. It happened very suddenly. I thought I was selling the business at a massive loss to someone who ended up going in the hospital, and that was a third sale that fell through, and I had no other choice but to shut the doors. Had the debt collectors like knocking on the door. It was horrendous. I was stressed out of my brain, and I had forgotten that I actually had paid for a Landmark Forum course, and I tried to do one. And on the Friday, the first day of the course, my wife had had an injury, and when she flew back from Sydney, she couldn't drive a car, so I had to get pulled out of the course, and I got a credit for the course, which is very gracious of Landmark to give that to me. And it was like a year and a half later that I'd not been able to organise a 3-day weekend with staff to be able to do the forum. So when I was closing the shop, I asked one of my staff members, like, what are you going to do now? You know, like genuinely really concerned for them. And she said, I'm actually paid for a Landmark Forum this weekend. And that triggered me. And I was like, oh my God, I've got a credit for that. I can do that. So I literally did the forum like 8 days or something after I shut my shop, which was an absolute godsend because it changed my headspace. And not only did I get clear that I was a failure and my shop had failed, it was like my shop had failed, and I did everything I could to avoid that. But so I uncollapsed that conversation. Literally, I think it was a month later, I did the advanced course, and I'd only been using the Redox technology for about 4 months at this point, 4 or 5 months, but I already knew it had such a massive impact on Nicole. But I was in dire straits. I'd never done network marketing before. And honestly, our experience of upline and support at this point in time was terrible. We weren't connected to the right people. We hadn't read the books. We just knew that we loved this technology. And in the Landmark Forum in March 2012, I declared that I would, right now from nothing, whom I am is the possibility of making a series available for all Australians. And I had no idea how that was going to happen. And it was actually January 26, 2015.
Yeah.
No, January 26, 2016.
Yeah.
On Australia Day, that ASEA was made available for all Australians. And it was just amazing. You don't know how things are going to happen, but you don't have to know. You just declare and trust and take action in the right direction every day. You learn from your mistakes and you just keep on target, and miracles do happen.
It's so true, and thanks. That's such a powerful share, Justin. Thank you. Yeah, it's the power of declaration. Go for it, everybody. You know, you can create whatever you want in your life, and it's not knowing about how you're going to do it. It's just having the courage to, connect with what you're passionate about, and then make a declaration that's aligned to your passion. Yeah. Thank you. I love it. It's all dark behind you there, Justin. It's beautiful.
Trying to get the Bubba asleep. He's pretty restless.
I know. I thought that's what you're probably doing. So has anybody else got anything they want to share before we close the training, or any comments? Yes, Pam.
Yeah, no, I'd like to make a declaration. Actually, thanks, Justin, for tapping me back into Landmark. I did Landmark years back as well, and it actually transformed my life. So it's really good to feel that energy, just hearing Justin share. Yeah. I'd like to declare that I will be gold by convention in September.
Beautiful.
I'm not clear I'm going to do it, but
that's it. Let's go for it. Yeah, it's a perfect declaration if you don't know how you're going to achieve it. That's perfect.
Yeah, I can feel my heart pounding just sharing it.
That's it. Yeah, you're on track. That's brilliant. Wonderful. Thank you for that. So Pam's declaring she's going to go gold by September by the convention. Brilliant. Well done. You know, and is there anyone else who'd like to be bold and courageous right now? Seriously, this is the time to do it. And if you don't want to, if you'd like to do it but you're scared, then just do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's part of declaration. No,
I'll declare.
Who's that?
Debbie.
Oh, Debbie.
Hi.
Go, Debbie.
Thanks, Janine. I'm going to declare I'll be a bronze by the end of Clay's training, 3 months.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Good. All right. You're ready. And you'll declare that again on your training. So that's really powerful.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else like to do that? Like it's, you know, the spoken word in front of us as a group gives it way more power.
Yeah.
Who's that? Becky. Go, Becky.
I'm declaring that I'm going to be a regular Director 700 by Easter.
By Easter. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. Thanks, Becky. That's very powerful. You know, when you're a Director 700 every week, that's the recipe for, you know, launching yourself very powerfully into the executive levels. Fantastic. Well done. Anybody else before we go?
Hi, Janine. It's Deborah here.
Deborah. Yes, hello.
I declare that I'm going to be silver by the 30th of June or before, and gold before going to Dallas.
Beautiful. Good on you, Deborah. That's so exciting. Yeah. And are you doing Clay this week? Fantastic. Yep. You will do that. All right. I'm getting a little carried away here. Is there anybody else?
I'd like to declare as well.
Who's that? Oh, Kim. Go for it.
I'm taking myself and my husband to Texas in September.
Fantastic. You and your husband. Yes?
That's my plan.
Whereabouts are you? Are you in Australia?
No, New Zealand.
That's what I thought. I detect an accent there, which I thought you meant. Yeah, brilliant. All right, look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Go for it, Kim. Yes. Anyone else?
Yes.
Here's another one. Who's this? Kim. No?
Robin?
Where are we? Robin. Go for it.
I'd like to declare that I'll be bronze by the end of the financial year.
Okay, by the end of June or the 1st of July. Beautiful. Fantastic, Robin. Are you doing Clay this week?
I don't know. I need to talk to Justin yet.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Like, you know, yeah, if you can do it, do it. It's well worth it. Yes. All right. Margot, have you
got a declaration for Megan saying
yes.
She can only do things in front of cameras and not in front of audiences.
I know.
She's written in the message, I'm going to be solid gold and resign my business by the 30th of June.
Wow.
And 2018, I think that should say. Yep.
Yes. So say that again. Solid gold.
And resign my business by the 30th of June.
Okay.
That's Megan
Beautiful.
Stevens.
Megan, fantastic. Thanks for reading that out, David. I can't see that in the chat box. All right. Last one, Margot.
I've got internet going on and off, so I'm first declaring that internet will stay on for this evening.
Yes.
And I got a text from Justin saying we need to make hairy, audacious goals. And this is so hairy and audacious that I hardly believe I'm putting it out there. But yes. Why not? Because I am so serious about going for this. I am declaring that we will be silver not long after the end of Clay's training.
Well, how about by the end of Clay's training?
All right, by the end of Clay's training. Why not?
Seriously. Yeah, you need to be scared about it and like have no clue how you're going to do it. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely not an idea.
There you go. Silver by the end of Clay. Right. I'm with you there. I'm very excited.
We have Barbara here wanting to
say. Barbara, go.
I'm very nervous with this. I'm going to declare that I'll be a Director 700 by June.
Beautiful. Fantastic. That's brilliant. Yeah. And you're nervous about it. That's good. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much for being courageous and sharing, all of you.
And I want to share too. I want to declare.
Oh, go, Leah.
I already declared that I was going to be bronze by the convention. and that didn't. And by the end of Clay Stevens actually last, which was January. So it didn't happen. So I think I had to re-declare it.
That's okay. Yeah, a redeclaration.
And I got stuck in listening to my sponsor saying that wasn't actually doable when I had set the declaration. So I think I need to let go of how, as you're saying, and just say that's what's going to be done.
Yes.
So I'm now declaring that I'll be bronze by. It's not scary though. It's not scaring me.
Then go up. If it's not scary enough, that's not the right.
Well, I'm not bronze yet, so if I made it another rank, I'd be more scared. So I'm not sure whether to make it bronze by a closer date or make it a higher rank by June.
I'll go for the silver.
Okay. So I'm declaring that I'll be silver by June 31st, June the 30th.
Fantastic.
I'd also like to declare.
Yes, Rosie, please.
I'm being very brave here. I'd like to declare that I will be bronze by September.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Rosie. That's perfect. So yeah, like make those declarations to your mentors, to your upline, share with them what you've declared, and obviously if you're in the clay training, well done, Rosie. Yeah, thank you.
I've got a declaration.
Go, Stuart.
I have no idea how this is going to happen, but I want to be platinum by convention
in September. Awesome.
Yep. I have no idea, but that's what I have no idea how I'm going to do that. But
that's all right.
I'm declaring that.
I didn't know how I was going to do it either. In fact, I was terrified. I looked at the numbers. The power of declaration. There are things that we don't even know that are out there that we're just going to attract in, through this. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Love it.
Janine, Lorna here.
Morning, Lorna.
Yes, I am making a big, hairy, audacious goal that I'm going to be diamond by next Australian convention.
Right, next February.
Yes. So I need to do the same as Megan. I need to be consistently gold by the end of Clay Stevens training, and then consistently platinum by the time September comes, and then diamond by Australian convention. So I've got 3 stages.
That's perfect. Yep. No, I can see you easily doing that. For some reason, I feel very comfortable with that one. Yeah, well done, Lorna. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Gosh, I think everyone...
I might as well declare while we're on here.
Go on, Jules.
So I declare platinum by convention, so I'll go with you, Stuart. Platinum.
There you go. You're going to have a partner.
Yeah. I'm starting Clay Stevens this week, so that's going to be interesting.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Great share, Jules. All right. Anyone else? Janice? Do you want to share something? Do you want me to unmute you? There we go. Hang on. See if you can unmute. I'm attempting to unmute you, but it's not working. Oh, there we go. Yep.
I declare I'll be Director 700 by Easter.
Fantastic. Awesome, girl. I know you can do it. Yep, that's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. And I really put you on the spot there. And I acknowledge you for embracing that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can do it. You can do it. All right, everybody. So we've got at 8 o'clock, we've got somebody sharing the wonders of the redox signaling molecules and the different, I don't know what it is tonight, but I know you'll want to stay tuned. Go and get yourself a cup of tea. And does anyone know who's coming on at 8?
Paula is coming on, and she's talking about like a child, just interviewing someone about a child injury and using the redox.
Oh, fantastic. Beautiful. Thanks for that, Nicole. All right. So it's the same channel, same station back here at 8 o'clock. All right. So all of you declarers, get out there and knock yourselves out. Good night.
Fantastic. Great sharing, everyone. I loved all the declarations.
Isn't it beautiful?
And mine and Justin's is double Ambassador Diamond by July.
By July. Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant. All right. Double Ambassador Diamond. I don't even know what that is.
It's a lot of volume.
I think I had a look at it and thought, holy, yeah, but that's perfect. Okay. All right. Have fun, everybody. Keep smiling.
Thanks, Janine.
Thanks, Janine.
Thanks, Janine. That was
Great
awesome.
leadership, Janine. Thank you so much for inspiring us all.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Justin.
Janine.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, Janine. That was fabulous. Thank you.